Hi, my name is Marissa Shu, and I'm an integrated pest management educator with University of Minnesota Extension. Today, we'll be talking about how to use the Midwest Vegetable Production Guide website. You might be familiar with the paper version of this guide. This has been coming out for over a decade and is a collaboration between land-grant universities around the Midwest and Great Lakes region. If you've ever used this paper guide before, about the first third of it is general information about growing vegetables, while the back half of it is sorted into chapters by crop family, where you can find insecticide, fungicide, and herbicide recommendations for different crops within that family. This whole book, as well as a searchable online database, is available at mwveguide.org. When you go to that website, you'll see a page that looks like this. If you click Hard Copy Guide, you'll be taken to a place where you can download all 308 pages as a PDF of the guide, as well as specific chapters. So if you just grow one crop, so for example, maybe you just grow pumpkins, you could click Cucurbit Crops and you will get just the Cucurbit chapter, a little bit more manageable at 26 pages that you can print and be on your way. In the heat of the summer, when things are a little bit bonkers, I like to use the online version of this guide. The online version of this guide takes all those pesticide related recommendations and turns them into a database that you can search in a couple different ways. So let's look at how we can use this tool. First way you can use this tool is by clicking Pick My Crop. So let's say we're growing pumpkins, and then we pick our pest. So you do have to do some pest ID outside this tool. This tool does not help you identify pests. Check in with your local extension service for pest ID type resources. But if we do know what we're dealing with, so let's say we know we're growing pumpkins, we have powdery mildew, we can enter that. The database will think, and we'll get an output that looks like this. The first row we'll see will be pest information. We can open it, and that will include information about the disease, the insect, the weed situation, as well as thresholds and key times for scouting and management. The next row we'll see is non-pesticide options. This will include those kind of cultural, physical, biological type controls that may or may not be available for your crop and your pest. We'll then get a list of pesticides that have labels for this crop in the Midwest. If you click any of the listed products, you will get information about the application rate, the restricted entry interval, the pre-harvest interval, the signal word. If you click show more, you'll get information about can you chemigate it, can you use it in a greenhouse. This is important because in some Midwestern states, hoop houses, high tunnels, those are treated as greenhouses for the pesticide use stuff. So important to check where your state stands and then cross-check this guide to see if you can use a product in there or not. Respirator use information, as well as information about if we know this product has unintended consequences on bees. So that's one way we can use this guide. We can also do searches by pests. So let's say we have caterpillars in our sweet corn. We can search that way. So again, we'll get pest information. This one's a little bit longer because we need to get more specific than just caterpillar to manage them well. So include information about the specific caterpillars, the specific thresholds for each species, those non-pesticide options, as well as a list of pesticides. Here I want to draw attention to this filter bar on the left. So here you can filter products by the re-entry interval, the pre-harvest interval, as well as a couple other really helpful ways. So let's say we are an organic grower. We could just hit OMRI listed, and here we get those products that have OMRI listings approved for organic production. Another way can be helpful is to check for non-restricted use pesticides. So maybe we don't have the type of license in our state to use RUPs. Here we can filter out and just get those non-RUP type products. So again, really helpful. The label is the law. We always have to read the label, but this could be a quick way to figure out what products we want to go ahead and read the whole label for or are a good match for our equipment, our labor, our values, all that other stuff. The next way you can use this guide is by pick my pesticide ingredient. This might be a scenario where you have something on your shelf in your chem shed that you're like, how do I use this? Is there a way to use this? So you can type in by active ingredients. You could enter I have chlorothalonil. I'm growing these 10 crops. Are there situations that I can use this? The newest way we can use this tool is this View Non-Pesticide Options tab. So for here, we'll just select a crop we're growing, and it will tell you all of the cultural, biological, physical type controls for all the different pests that have an entry in the guide. So again, if you're a low spray, no spray, organic certified, or just organic-ish type grower, this can be a helpful way to get an overview of what kind of management practices might help you manage pests across the board. All right, so that is the guide. This gets updated all the time. The queryable database gets updated by extension personnel from around the Midwest whenever there are changes in what the research says or what the label says. So, great tool. If you have questions about this tool, reach out to your local land grant university. Again, more than 8 different universities put work into this tool and have someone in their state who works with growers on the tool. So, tap into that network if you have questions, and have a happy growing season.